All right, let's get right into it. At the very heart of every single app, every website, pretty much every piece of software you use, there's a secret. It's a simple, really elegant idea that makes it all possible. And today, we're going to unlock that secret. So, seriously, how do they do it? How does a whole team of programmers build something absolutely enormous, like a social media app or a massive video game, without it just collapsing into a chaotic mess? Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. You definitely don't do it like this. I mean, imagine trying to fix a single typo in a document that's a million pages long. It's impossible, right? This is basically a code traffic jam, and it's completely unmanageable. See, to build something really big, you actually have to start thinking small. Programmers use this one simple but incredibly powerful idea to bring order to all of that chaos. It's a strategy you've probably heard of before, called divide and conquer. The idea is, instead of trying to tackle one giant, terrifying problem, you break it down into dozens or even thousands of tiny, manageable little pieces. And this isn't some newfangled idea. The source material really nails it when it says it is better to develop and maintain large programs in the form of smaller pieces, modules. And that's not just a friendly suggestion. It's pretty much the golden rule for building software that actually works. And wow, this slide just shows you everything, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that one giant confusing block of code we talked about. But then you look over on the right, and it's just this neat, organized structure. The main program is super short and clean. Why? Because it's delegated all the hard work to smaller, specialized modules. And here's the real magic. Breaking things down like this just makes everything easier. It's easier to design in the first place because you're just thinking about one small task at a time. It's way easier to find and fix bugs, and it's so much easier to add new features or even just reuse a piece of that code in a totally different project. It's an absolute game changer. So, what do we call these magical little modules? Well, they're called functions. And to really get how they work, let's use a super simple analogy. Think of a boss and their team of specialist workers. So in any program, there's always one main function. That's our boss, our project manager. And a good boss doesn't do all the work themselves, right? No, instead, they call on their team of workers, these other functions, and each one has a very specific job to do. This little diagram breaks down the workflow perfectly. First, the boss gives the worker the info it needs to do the job. We call those parameters. Then, the worker goes off and does its thing, and finally, it reports back with a result. It's just a clean, simple, and really efficient process. Okay, so that's the big picture. But you know what? Let's get specific. Let's actually trace a single function call step by step to see exactly how this whole boss and worker thing plays out in some real code. All right, check this out. Here's our scenario. The boss, our main function, needs to figure out which of two numbers is bigger. It's got the numbers 5 and 2, but it doesn't want to do the comparison itself. It wants to delegate. So what does it do? The main function calls the max worker. This is the delegation step. It's basically saying, hey, Max, I need your help. And it passes along the information the worker needs, the values 5 and 2. And now the max function takes over. It receives those two values, 5 and 2, and it stores them in its own little temporary variables, which it calls num1 and num2. Now it's got everything it needs to get to work. And this is where the specialized work happens. The max function has one job, and one job only. Compare two numbers. It asks, is num1, which is 5, greater than num2, which is 2? Yep, it sure is. So the function knows exactly which number is the bigger one. So it's got the answer. The max worker's job is almost done. It just needs to do one last thing, report back to the boss. That return statement sends the result, the number 5, right back to where the call came from. And just like that, we're back with the boss. The main function receives that value 5 from the max worker. It then takes that returned value and stores it in its own variable, k. The task is complete. The boss delegated, the worker did its job, and the result came back safe and sound. See how powerful that system is? But, like any well-oiled machine, it has a few simple rules you have to follow to make sure everything works smoothly. So here's a really common problem. What happens if the boss tries to call a worker that the program has never even heard of yet? Well, you get an error. The program basically throws its hands up and says, whoa, I don't know who this add two numbers person is. You haven't introduced me. Luckily, the solution is super simple. You just have to introduce your workers before you put them to work. And in programming, we do this with something called a function prototype. The best way to think about it is like a company directory for the boss. It's a quick note at the top that says, "Hey main, just so you know, I've got a worker named add2numbers available, and here's what kind of job it does." That way, there's no confusion when it's time to delegate. So let's just boil it all down. What is a function? It's simply a named block of code that does one specific thing. It's a specialist worker that you can call on again and again and again from anywhere in your program. And that right there is the secret. That app on your phone, it wasn't built as one giant monstrous piece. It was built from thousands of these small, reliable, single-purpose functions, all working together perfectly. It's like Legos, but for code. You know, this idea of divide and conquer is so much bigger than just programming. It's a fundamental problem-solving technique that has built our entire digital world. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What big problem in your life could you solve by breaking it down into smaller, more manageable pieces?